Old. You're so old, man. I can't believe that you're even golfing.
Garcia.
Yes. Sí, por favor.
You're up. Garcia's up first.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a good sign.
You're Laura. You all pulled off? A little? Okay.
All right, you got our attention now.
Look at that big, good-looking guy, huh?
Ben.
I wasn't going to say anything else, but I have a few things to say.
She's walking. She's walking here.
Ellen, put on your black cape and a whip.
She's talking here.
Where's my sister?
She's with my wife.
Oh.
Yeah, they've been by the bathroom for a while. Lona!
One said,
Go ahead.
I got a very important announcement to make. The open bar ends in 10 minutes, so if you need a refill, now's a good time.
Okay, go.
Nobody's running it back.
Is
Did you get me a black
Go another hour, that's fine.
Hey, Greg, give me a black can while you're over there.
Okay, my sister's not here, she missed the moment.
Oh, there she comes. Ilama!
There she is.
Golf clap.
Okay,
Golf clap.
stop. I just wanted, I thought I was done, but I just wanted to acknowledge my sister who was fabulous with taking the photograph of Tom pitching as a young boy, superimposing it on a Tom Seaver photograph, getting the invitations together with Benjamin. Who mailed them out. And Killian, you came here from Atlanta, darling. I haven't seen you. You're fabulous. You're gorgeous. I love you.
Yeah.
I got up now, and now Jimmy's going to take over. Oh, before.
Bar closes in 10 minutes.
I just want to acknowledge this woman who gave birth to my husband.
No. Tom was about.
Wait.
There's some secrets that are going to come out.
Wait. And actually, today is the actual day of my mother's birth. She was 27 when Tom was born.
And tomorrow's Jimmy's birthday.
Yes, he's
And I'm the younger brother.
And Tom's birthday. And that's it. It's all yours.
Okay,
I'm the younger brother.
now you can go.
Now I can go. Several weeks ago, I got this thing in the mail. By the way, Tom was pitching to me. And we all know that it's the catcher who calls the game. But I don't think we're in Yankee Stadium. When I first looked at it, I thought, I remember that picture. It was on the front page of the Journal News. But not at Yankee Stadium. Anyway, it said on here, Tom's 50th birthday and a roast. And a little asterisk there that said volunteers needed. So, I listened to my wife. She says, well, it's a pig roast. She says it's a pig roast. So I called Ellen. I said, well, of course we volunteer for a pig roast. I can turn the pig. And...
Jimmy goes, do you need volunteers? I'm like, yes, brother Jim.
And then I said, I guess that means I've already volunteered for this roast of Tom, which I thought was going to be a pig roast. And I'm going to guess I've got a long list of volunteers here that may have also thought this was a pig roast. But instead, you're all going to get a chance to talk about Tom a little bit, my brother, my older brother.
By 2 years.
And one day.
Well, you're gonna have to wait for a little bit. I do want to say a couple things first. Ellen, thank you so much for putting this together for Tom. I really appreciate it. Nobody else would have done it, but only more. Joan has already jumped the gun. It's actually today is my mom's birthday. I wasn't going to give the age. I think Mom was 10 years old when she had Tom, so Mom is 60 years old. And I do want to welcome all of Ellen's family. I know a lot of you have come from far distances to be here tonight, and I think that's just wonderful. It's good to see everybody here together to celebrate a very special occasion.
There ought to be an award for the most miles.
Who would win?
Oh, you came from a couple blocks away.
I flew through Dulles.
We know we have people from Chicago, California, the whole bit. So thank you all for Atlanta. We're gonna hear from you, Atlanta. Here's to Atlanta.
Both. Oregon.
So as it turns out, because I was the first to volunteer, I became the MC, which I thought was pretty cool because I can't stand here for 15 minutes and talk to all of you. I just simply can't do that. What I do want to say though is that
Ben.
Tom, and these are my mom's words, growing up, Tom was the big tease. He was always teasing me. He was always teasing everybody on our block. And you know what? Today he's still teasing everybody that I know, including his own children, his wife, the whole family.
Dog to spots.
And finally, we get a chance to tease Tom back.
That's
So-
it. Put me on that list.
Now, I don't get the opportunity to speak in front of a big group like this all that often. Every once in a while, I have to do that for my job. And about a year ago, I went to Japan for the first time, and I was asked to speak to our finance group at our business in Japan. And I'm thinking I'm going to be going into a room of about 6, 7, or 8 people, and I'll speak to them for a few minutes, and that's that. I walk into the room, there's about 50 people there, and the finance director whispers into my ear, about half of them speak English, or, a decent amount of English. The other half, they don't have a clue what you're saying. So I'm thinking, well, I may as well kick it off with a joke. So I tell a joke. It takes me a good 2-3 minutes to go through the whole joke, and I get a smattering, a little laughter, a little applause, but I needed the finance director to do the interpretation for me. So I do my 3-minute spiel, and then he does the interpretation. It takes him about 15 seconds. And everyone just bursts out laughing, and they're applauding like crazy. And I'm wondering, what happened? So after, the whole meeting was over, I went to the finance director, and I said, what happened at that point? It took me 3 minutes to get through the story, and you did it in 15 seconds. What did you say to that whole group out there, especially those that didn't understand English? And he said, I stood up and I said, Jim just told a very funny story. Everybody laughed really hard and applause. We have a laundry list of people that are going to be speaking tonight. So when they say something funny, everybody laugh really hard and applause. And for me too. Okay, I'm going to talk just a couple minutes and I'll introduce our first guest. But I do want to say a couple things about Tom. He was my mentor growing up, 2 years older than me. He took me everywhere with him. He tried to teach me along the way. He was the ultimate big brother. Jim, come along with me. And he taught me lots of things over the years. One of the rules in our house growing up was that Irish Catholic, we couldn't swear. You couldn't swear in the house, right? So Tom's about 7 years old. I'm about 5 years old or so. And Tom says, you want me to teach you how to swear? And, I hadn't learned anything, about that, so I said, sure. So he says, Sure, yeah, we're gonna swear. Well, okay, you know.
They've heard it all.
Kids, close
Hey, they
your
watch
ears.
MTV, you know, give me a break. So anyway, Tom's gonna teach me how to swear. He says, you know, it's early in the morning, we're gonna go downstairs for breakfast. I'm gonna say the word hell, and you say the word ass. And in our family, believe me, that was taboo. So we go downstairs, Mom's in the kitchen. Tom, what would you like for breakfast? And he stops, he thinks for a couple minutes, he says, you know, what the hell? I'll have some Cheerios. Well, Mom picks him up out of his chair, slaps him across the face. You go in that bathroom and you wash out your mouth with soap. And I'm watching all this, and this is my mentor. And I know what I'm supposed to say, so Mom looks at me, and she's a little bit angry at this point. And what do you want for breakfast? Well, I don't know, but you know, I sure as hell don't want Cheerios. Tom taught me a few other things along the way. One thing I gotta say is Tom was always a hard-working type of guy. He was always trying to earn a buck. And even at a very, very early age, he was trying to teach me the same thing, which in my teenage years, you know, kind of slid to the side. I didn't really want to work that hard. But in the early years, we went to a wedding, Mom, in Scranton. And, okay. And Tom was probably about, you know, I don't know, Tom was maybe 6, 7 years old. I was 4 or 5 years old. Something like that. We're wearing our suits. We got our bow ties, the whole bit. And we went through the wedding. We're at the reception. It was boring for most of us. So Tom decided, you know, we're going to pick up these bar trays and let's go serve drinks to these people. Maybe we can earn some tips. And you know, we did. We picked up the trays and we're going up to the bar. We're getting the drinks for these guys, right? You remember this? You remember this? Right? So, you know, we're serving drinks to all these people. He also taught me a little bit about alcohol, that, you know, a highball isn't all that bad if you sneak a, you know, a little sip here and there. But, you know, we're getting tips through this whole time. So at the end of the day, when the reception was coming to a close, Tom also decided he's going to teach me how to count. He said, we got to pool our tips and then we'll split them up evenly. So he's going to teach me how to count. So he takes all the money and he's, okay, 1 for you, 1 for me. 1 for you, 2 for me. 1 for you, 3 for me. So that's how I learned how to count. Thanks to Tom.
Finance of Estee Lauder.
Yeah, that's why he's in finance.
That's why I'm in finance today. 1 for you, 3 for me. Thank you very much. That's the way we do business. Over the years, Tom continued to teach me a number of things. Unfortunately, we have mixed companies, so I can't talk about a lot of them. But even in the college days, I went to visit Tom at Niagara University, and he introduced me to what college life is all about. One of the first things he taught me when I went to visit him at college, and by the way, he's 18, I'm 16 or so at this time, he taught me drinking games. Remember Zoom Schwartz? I know Frank remembers Zoom Schwartz and a few other drinking games.
Joni remembers Zoom Schwartz.
Yeah,
You passed it down.
And I was
we kind of, it became a family type of thing.
Family game.
Yeah, you don't have to explain it to me.
Write down the directions, please.
Zoom, Schwartz, Finaglia. I'm trying. There really was a game to this.
What did Frank knows?
Figliano.
Figliano. Okay, you had to. All I know is it was you're just constantly. And I know somebody else wants to mention Tom's ability to handle alcohol. I'll leave that to somebody else
I'll spill something.
because Tom usually didn't make it too far in these games. But he did teach me Zoom Schwartz. Tom introduced me on college campus to food fights. And he also introduced
Soldier of God.
food. Yes, the first time I went to Niagara University, there was a major food fight, and guess who started it? He wanted to show me that it really happens there. The other thing he taught me was this little thing we had going back in the 70s. It was in a good aerobic workout. It was called streaking. But I got to tell you, streaking at Niagara Falls in December is a humbling experience. For Tom, anyway. So now, you've heard enough of me for a few minutes here. There's a couple that really, really wants to have an opportunity to talk about their close relationship with Tom. What a good guy he is. And I'm assured that they're only going to say the nicest things. Kathy and Paul.
We want to stand here so we can talk directly to
We're going to talk to Tommy.
Okay.
Tommy, welcome to old age.
I know you've been calling him your dad for, you introduced him as your dad at the golf course, but you now joined the group and we expect the hair to turn white within the next 12 to 18 months.
Don't believe me, it's all downhill from here. Okay? I have a few notes. I have to work from notes. When you get older, you have to use
Notes.
We have a script, actually.
We all know that Tom Kozlov really, really likes to talk. If you ask Tom for the time, he'll tell you how to build a watch, really.
Genetic.
It
Oh, is it?
Well, we're
Oh,
talking
okay.
Anyway, one time we were having dinner with Kate,
I think it was breakfast with Kate.
and
My mother.
I asked Tommy, he says, Tommy, how do you like being on the board at the fairway? He said, 20 minutes later, everybody stopped taking a breath. On and on and on.
My mother was like this mid-cereal.
And then also at our annual Myrtle Beach golf trip, I don't know if you remember Dave,
Dave from Philadelphia, from
Yeah,
Pennsylvania.
several times a day. Tom, do you ever shut up?
Yeah, but he had been drinking.
Well, one of the, I
Am I
think
right,
one of
Amy?
the, you talk about it being genetic though, and just recently, Sarah, who just graduated from high school, was named most talkative in her senior class. So we do know that the tradition continues, and this is a good thing.
Well, actually, sometimes Tommy talks when he shouldn't talk. I mean, we were playing golf and we were playing with Bobby. And Bobby takes a swing, he turns around and says, Tommy, excuse me, he said, did my golf swing bother your conversation? So anyway, tonight we're going to talk about the top 10 reasons why Tom Kozlov will talk.
Now, we did steal this format from David Letterman, okay, just to let you know.
So are we gonna buy him a drink, David Letterman?
No.
No, he's got enough money to buy his own drinks. But we're gonna give you the top 10 reasons, and the 10th reason that Tom likes to talk is,
If you mention certain people who live at the fairways, which we do from time to time,
we used to live there, just to let you know. Okay, so did Gina Rosalie.
Tom will fill us in on all that's happened since we last spoke, and we really don't feel like we ever leave.
No. you don't. Okay. The 9th reason that Tom will talk
As Tom recently listened to a book on tape called The Shot History of Nearly Everything. He now feels compelled to share all of his knowledge,
We just did that last night.
every human being that he comes in contact with.
The 8th reason that Tom will talk.
My bladder is not going to make it through this.
You're just gonna have to hold on, okay?
Or,
Oh, that's reason number
or
4.
pee in your pants.
Pinch it.
Okay, ask Tom to make...
We've all had to hold it while you talk, so
Number 7.
Okay, ask Tom to make a wine selection. He'll gladly demonstrate his knowledge of fine wines, describing them as fruity, capacity are coached in smooth, powdery tannins? Does anybody know what that means?
Nobody does. The seventh reason Tom will talk.
Tom likes to use big words to show us all how smart he is. Does everybody realize that?
The sixth reason Tom will talk.
Okay, this is good. I like this one. You make a bad golf shot when you play golf with Tom, and he'll be only too happy to tell you what you did wrong.
That takes a lot of time on you.
Okay. The fifth reason.
Mention the Boston Red Sox.
Okay, we're his only friends that are Red Sox fans.
Oh, that's right.
Only Yankees.
Boo. Go Atlanta.
Number four. Number
Mention
four.
the New York Yankees.
But we take him to Fenway Park for the very first time in his life, and who wins?
The Red Sox won.
Oh, so what? It's a fluke.
The third reason that Tom will talk.
If you ever mention that you have muscle aches or pains, that'll be good for 10 minutes. Multiple 4-syllable words that you have no idea what he's saying.
Greg will attest to that as a child.
The second top reason that Tom will talk.
When Ellen's not around.
Thank you, Ellen. And the first reason.
Number one reason.
The number one reason.
No reason at all. Tom will talk about it.
Okay, hold on. There's a quick bathroom break, and then we return. I bought for Tom. Lifting lotion. Ultimate lifting cream. These are real products. I'm serious.
These are things that Ellen asked you to get them?
I just kind of knew. You know, he's 50 years old. I could kind of figure it out.
Can you
Oh.
tell me where they go?
Well, we're gonna, Bobby, you're getting a little bit ahead of me. Ultimate Lifting Cream Supreme. Then we have Resilience Lotion, Resilience Ultimate Night Cream,
Is that where you have to be
and
now?
the special Resilience Night Formula. Now, Tom, I know what you're thinking, and Ellen, I think I know what you're thinking too, because you're blushing over there. But please, when I give you these products, read the directions. They all go on your face. Nowhere else on your body. Please apply them to your face. Oh, God. Okay. Jim just told a funny story. Everybody laughed.
But it was more than 3 minutes.
He's his brother.
You know, he was my mentor. He taught me. You give me the opportunity. But instead of me talking a little bit more, number 2 on the list is Uncle Mason has a few words for Tom.
Don't I have something to throw?
No.
I am Tom's brother-in-law.
Sit down now.
His brother-in-law. Does anybody know what that means? I've known Tom for 20 years as his brother-in-law. I am married to his younger sister, Joan.
Only
Give her a hand.
Favorite sister.
Favorite and only sister. Does anybody know what it means to be Tom's brother-in-law?
Oh my God.
The only one.
It's just a question, eh?
Yes, it is. Yes. It means you get picked on a lot. So tonight, I would like.
Especially when you're a Baltimore Orioles
We
fan.
won't.
But we won't go there.
And
We won't.
everybody's.
Not yet. Not yet. Tonight, I would like to have a little show of hands. This is a survey that we're going to do for Uncle Tom. What I want to know is, how many people out there have been picked on by Tom Kozlov?
Show of hands.
Show of hands. Yup. Okay.
Sounds like everybody but Tom.
Has anybody?
And his mother. And his mother.
I want to see a show of hands of people that have not been picked on by Tom Kozlov.
The night is young. The night is young. He still has time.
It's an incredible thing to be picked on by Tom Kozlov. You haven't been picked on by Tom Kozlov? What is wrong with you? I don't understand.
Tom is nice.
Do you want that $10 now?
Yes, that's my uncle.
Okay. We're doing the show of hands. Everybody who has been picked on by Tom Kozlov that is not upset about it.
They're too young to know.
I can't believe it. Anybody here has been picked on by Tom Kozlov and has wanted to wring his neck? The most important part, who has wanted to pick on Tom Kozlov and has actually wrung his neck?
Ellen?
No! Oh! What did it feel like? Tell me. What does it feel like?
Good.
It doesn't give any.
It doesn't stop, though.
It doesn't
It
give
doesn't
any.
stop.
We don't have enough time to tell you how good it felt.
You actually wrung his neck? You did? Oh my
Only
God.
once.
That was,
Only once.
because as a brother-in-law, I have never wrung his neck.
Try it.
This is your
I
chance.
haven't, so I can only live vicariously.
Hey, this is your chance.
The mouth of
Don't
babes.
start
It is.
tonight.
It is. One night, I was invited, because I get picked on a lot as a brother-in-law.
Why?
A lot. By that guy. I get picked on all the time. One night, I was invited to Tom and Ellen's house. And in addition to the two of us, were a reverend and his wife. And we started talking about baseball.
What else?
You don't have a whole lot to say because you're an Orioles fan. I mean, it's clear right. We all pick on you for that.
It's
It
a
only
hard,
could be worse if you were a Red Sox fan.
it's a hard thing to
Ellen?
be an Orioles fan in Yankees country, I will admit. Very difficult. The night
Are you
that
being a
I'm
Red
with the
Sox fan in
Reverend
this country?
and his wife, Tom got me really riled up.
It was all his fault.
I'm not really an emotional kind of guy. But that night, I was
You had enough.
screaming and yelling, and I think I was cursing in front of the Reverend and his wife about the Yankees and the Orioles. They were looking at me like, he got me emotionally involved.
The what?
Okay, the butt part. Tom, when I had my 40th party, there was a lot of people here, and he showed up with some Yankee thing, and he like went and framed it, like I was gonna hang it on my wall.
No, it was your face as a Yankee fan on a photograph.
Okay, that was it. I don't know where that is. That was 4 years ago.
It was in your book
I
in the
don't
garbage.
remember it.
I think I
Tom,
saw it on eBay.
I have a present for you. Please. Show it to everybody. Let everybody see it.
Put it on.
Because I don't have the quick wit, I can't get back in time in the
How's
same
everybody
way.
like this?
It didn't work. All the exercise didn't work.
Ellie, he's been
Great, I'm not done.
Ellie, he's been really using that ab roller, huh?
Is
What time
that
did you realize?
today I wore that shirt all day. I can only get a small measure back of you, Tom. Wearing my sweaty shirt.
There's a theme developing here. That's certainly not a surprise. Me and Jimmy go back to sophomore year in high school, and which is circa, I guess, 1970-71. And quickly we got into playing, after we got to know each other, we were playing poker. My earliest memory of Tom has to do with a poker game. Now, I think Jimmy mentioned earlier that Tom doesn't drink well. Usually in those days, about a beer and a half, and Tommy was basically out of control, lost in space, all those other acronyms that sum everything up. Well, one poker night, Tom had those 2 or 3 beers. And I happened to be, I must have rubbed Tom wrong, somehow wrong by probably winning too many hands or something. After the game, Tom managed to grab all of my money, which happened to be in a hat where I carried around my poker money. And he sat with a classic grin on his face at the top of the basement stairs and decided to
Toss it.
distribute the money amidst the
To the
basement.
masses.
It's all true. Except he was the worst freaking poker player.
That was the start of the relationship with Tom that has always had, me and Jimmy have always been, the cogs have always matched. We were really greatest of friends. Tommy, somehow, that cog has been one step out. There's always been like a misstep. So as years went by, pool parties generally degenerated into who could drown who. Now, again, the
guy's good, the chick loves him. What can I say? No, I went to Girl Beach.
Daddy, I'm videotaping this.
That's the end.
Daddy, I'm videotaping you.
I'm done.
Be honest.
I'm Luna Garcia now. Wait a second.
Be honest. Everything you told me in private.
Wait a minute, hold
I
on.
got money.
Tom Kozlov. I'd like to propose a toast, seriously, to Tom Kozlov. 50 years. Cheers, everybody. Cheers.
Queen. What?
Making my sister feel wonderful for 5 years. 10 years.
The first 5 were the best.
The second was my battery.
Okay, I'm sorry, I have no material from, guys. I'm sorry.
That's
okay.
I live in Atlanta.
That's why.
Paul, you've been out for 5 years. That's
But I have a confidant here.
Only
She's-
because he knows him only for 5 years. I've known him for 24 years.
She's my
I've worked
ABC
with
right
him
here.
for 15
So-
years, but I'll end it at that.
But before I let go, she's gonna say something about
No,
Tom.
I'll end
Kozlov.
it at that.
Tom, I love you. Oh yeah, I love you. Jump, jump.
No, excuse
Judy.
me, you don't even have the names right.
Laura.
Get it right.
This is a brother-in-law. That's just his 5 years. You don't know enough about the Tom Kozlov.
I love him. I love him.
This is a guy that I've known for about 18 years now. How I've made it for this long is beyond me. How come he has not killed me is beyond me, all right? I
Beyond me too,
he-
Rich.
you taught me how to play golf, you've taught me how to drink, because I never touched a beer until I met you. You know, 3 beers down the road, you were drunk and I was still going with Garcia. And you take me to all these out-of-the-world places and you leave me there. How I ever got home sometimes and never got divorced is beyond me, you know. All I heard was arguments. How come you just came home and you're going out to work? Well, I went with Tommy. Well, where'd you go? I have no idea. Because we're in this out-of-this-wall place in Whaley Inn, in the back of somebody's house, drinking, laying on a pool table, right? And then there's another couple of problems. I mean, you go out and play golf with this guy, and there was an accident that happened one day. And they told me I sprained my ankle. He says, but you got to play the rest of the 9 holes because we're on the back 18. So, lo and behold, even though he teed off, I go out and I putt. By the time I look back, my ankle's a little bit bigger. And he looks at it and he goes, don't worry about it, you only sprained it. Tee off. So we tee off, we play the next hole, they drive me up to my ball. I get out, I fall over, I get back up, I hit the ball, right? By the time we get finished on the next hole, I can't walk no more. He takes me back, he looks at it, he goes, you just sprained it, you probably have to go to the doctors. Well, being home, by the time I got home, I almost got killed by my wife at the time, because she was gonna kill him. He said, yeah, I only sprained it. Well, by the time I got to the hospital, I had 2 plates and 6 pins later, there was no problem. I mean, I listened to Tommy. Tommy told me everything was all right.
He showed up at the office.
I want to leave that part out. We got an x-ray and he told me there was not a problem, it was only a little crack, right? Well, he didn't tell me that the whole socket was gone, and everything else,
Well, it was a birdie putt, Rich.
Good diagnosis.
Yeah. I mean, you ask for a guy that's 20 years after he's had about 6 beers, right?
6.
Yes.
That's a lot for him.
You can ask anything you want, you probably don't get it. Not only that, he had to actually drive me home, and that was the worst part because he didn't want to face my wife at the time.
Tee off at 6.
No, I really appreciate it, Tommy. You've been a buddy all these years. I love you, pal.
Jimmy, you're a milk crate.
I'm not really sure why I'm here because I really don't like this guy. I can't like a guy that falls out of a tree, looking in the next door neighbor's window with one hand. Hang on. All right.
Okay.
The reason I'm here.
Okay.
The reason I'm here is
It's like
because,
Joe Pesci.
Ellen asked me to be here. And it gave me, I know it would give me a chance to be with Paul, which I enjoyed immensely today, by the way. He and him, I had a good time. And a chance to see Paul, to see his beautiful wife and her beautiful sister, and that's a joy, Okay. I've known,
Okay,
what's your name?
okay.
Tom.
Okay.
Since the early 80s, I think we met in the Rotary Club, right?
Yep.
Now, I used to work up in the state, for the state government, and I left on Tuesday nights. So everybody else went on Sundays. And because I left on Tuesday nights, I would always have to sleep on the living room couch. Everybody else had their own room. And I'm sleeping, it's like 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm on the living room couch. Tom apparently has made a new acquaintance. Yeah, I know you were jealous the next morning, I think. But he comes in and he insists that Tony sleeps like a rock. Well, I've got my eyes like this so I can see what's going on here. And I won't go into the gory details, but I just wanted to, I know what Ellen sees in Tom, and maybe Garcia. Okay, big boy. All right, big boy.
Tony, maybe you should sit down.
Tom and I did not speak for about a year and a half.
It was the best year and a half.
We were at Killington one year, and Tom, and you've all talked about what a tease Tom is. Well, Tom is an instigator. He's an instigator more than anybody I've ever met. And he's instigated people like Garcia to do nasty things. And we were at Killington one year, and it got so bad that I just left. Right? Okay. Tom and I played golf for a year and a half together without talking. Right? Right. We didn't talk for no. We didn't talk for a year and a half. After I left Killington. Yeah. And finally there was a day in Beekman. When he's over a putt and this leaf blows by. And I said, well, I'm sorry, Tom. And after that we talked. It was just kind of nice, you know?
You guys are strange.
Yeah, we are strange.
Bunch of twisted dudes. Twisted.
I do want to say, though, one thing I am very pleased about. Knowing Tom has allowed me to know his extended family, which is a wonderful family, his mother, and people like Garcia and Ed and Paul and Richie. And Richie is like 21 years, not 18. And other people who I've met, and they're just wonderful people, despite him.
I got it.
I don't know a lot of you here, and I know you guys don't know me that well. I have, however, been on the other side of Tom's wrath. First I want to just say that I'm so happy to be here, and it's just been so great getting to meet all of you, and I guess to make a long story short, I've been on the raft to the point, behind his raft to the point where I've cried. And I've been through hell, and I've been back, and because of that, Tom and Ellen have been pilots of that journey. And because of that, and because of their tenacity and their willingness to say what they need to say, I get to be a sister to my sister, and a sister-in-law to my brother-in-law, and a mother to my son, and to get to know all of you. I guess my point is there's a good side to Tom's instigation.
Oh, really? Wow. Who knew? I'm surprised myself.
His willingness to
Took him
instigate.
50 years to get there.
Yeah. Personally, I think it was worth it. And I just really want to thank Tom for taking such good care of my sister, and for allowing us into your life, and for having a place for my ex-husband to come to, and for my little boy and Killian and all your kids to get to know each other, and also for those two dogs at home that should be here. I love you, Tom, and I owe you everything, and thank you for my sister.
The end of the mushy stories, because our last speaker tonight, I have a feeling is not going to be all that mushy.
Oh, don't believe that.
And because they're going to be kicking us out of here before you go to the bathroom, we have one final speaker. We've saved him for the last. I think he's known Tom probably longer than anybody else other than myself, my mom, my sister.
Your mom.
My mom's known him his entire life.
Yes.
I've known him my entire life. My sister has known him her entire life.
Doesn't your mom?
You've only known him for a short time. Just wait, Ellen. Oh my God. Well, we will open the floor if need be. If somebody else feels compelled. But what I do want to do, there's a very special person in Tom's life that has shared many of his ups and downs, and I mean mostly downs. It's Bobby Garcia.
I did not want to speak tonight because I tell you guys, yeah, you blow us all away. Anyway, I have known Tom for a long time. 27 years ago. Okay? And I tell you, yeah, he came and my first tenant was Tom and his ex-wife. And that's the last kind words I'm going to say about it.
He paid the rent.
Well, that was, no, he argued with an attorney. He did argue because I had the wrong dates.
Correct, he did bring an attorney into
Yeah,
this.
he brought the attorney. Yeah. Before I said, this is great, you know, Tommy. Well, anyway, we're gonna go into other things. My wife worked for Tom for 15 years. And her and her sister used to say, Tommy has a temper you won't believe. I never saw Tom's temper, never, ever saw it. I said, you're kidding, you're blowing it out of perspective. No, you gotta see him, he goes nuts. I said, no, he can't go nuts. We're on a golf course one time, he missed a shot. He threw his club. It hit a tree square, broke the club in half. Whole thing whizzed right by my head. He goes nuts and he blames it on me. And I said, oh, holy hell.
Now you see.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna, everybody spoke a lot. I'm not gonna speak any further, except I love Tom. I love his family. And I'm just grateful. Thank you for having me. And have a great night. Thank you.
He could have said a whole lot more.
Maybe when he was younger.
We rolled the car together, if I'm not mistaken. You dropped him off in the driveway a couple of times.
Well, it was mixed company.
Yeah, there's a history there, and yes, there's a new family. And plus my mom is here.
Yeah, I
She
don't wanna hear
doesn't,
the bad stuff.
Mom witnessed enough
For 50
growing up
years.
with Tom. I called him a tease, someone else called him an instigator.
Perfect.
Instigator is real. Yeah, Joan says it, and I totally agree. He was an effing instigator. Say that again? There is no other person.
Actually.
Oh, okay, wait a second. My list was incorrect. We do have one more person. I will
They would
say.
ask the little sister if she'd like to speak. They didn't even come to me.
Well, all right. Joan.
Go, Jody.
Without further ado.
You see, I could go into lots of stories, like when we were in a store parking lot and Tom punched me in the stomach and I couldn't breathe, and he didn't get in trouble from my mother, and I could go into so many stories. But the other side is that Tom is a great older brother. He has an incredible vision and intellect, and he is a very creative person, and I've always known my entire life how much he loves me. So really, I can't say too many bad things about him, but
Work at it, Joan.
my my oldest son did want to say something in my regard to you. So,
Okay, well, when my mom and Uncle Tom were little, he always called my mom Joni Baloney. So, I'm the subject of cold cuts and names. We came up with a nickname for my uncle, Tommy Salami. It took me 60 years to figure that one out.
Mason, thank you very much. We've had other names for Tom along the way. One of the things I learned too, you know, when you all got this wonderful invitation, and actually this was a picture from a newspaper in Rockland County, although we weren't at Yankee Stadium. You raising your hand?
Yeah, just one thing I forgot.
Okay. Do you want to insult and forgot?
No, just a little incident. It was kind of cute, actually. Maybe 5-6 years ago, we were down in Myrtle Beach, and we were at that John Daly course.
The witch.
No. Wicked Stick. And we're on the back nine. It's a par 3. And there's a retired guy there who's kind of, he meets you when you come up to the tee, you know. And we get talking with him. We found out that he's from New York State. And we get talking with him, and I'm with Tom. And he finds out that this is Tom Kozlov. And he says, did you used to pitch for Pearl River? Pearl River, right? Right? Yes. And I was impressed, you know, this guy remembered Tom from so many years ago, you know, and he remembered Tom pitching, so I was impressed. I figured, you know, Tom must have been quite a pitcher.
He was.
Yeah, he was, yeah. The 20-foot drive that he did immediately after that didn't go with the picture, but I was impressed.
This picture, by the way, a little bit of background, a little bit of
What
history
year
on
was
this.
that?
Okay, I'm
1965.
1965.
We talked too much on the Cosmo.
Okay, 1965. A little bit of background. Little League was really short. Little League was big time when we were growing up, and you had to try out. You know, you had to go out there in front of all these coaches. You had to try out, and you could be selected, maybe. Now, the first 2 years that Tom was eligible to play in the big leagues, he was selected for kind of the middle level, which was okay. Then I came up in the picture with Tom, and there was a certain thing about if you selected one sibling, you automatically had the rights to the other. Now, all these years, Mom and Dad, they wanted Tom to think that he was selected in the year that I was drafted, and I was the sibling that kind of came along with it, but actually, Tom, sorry to tell you this, but I was selected as a 10-year-old, and you were the sibling that kind of came along with it. But there was a year that we won the county championship, and this is a picture of the championship game.
Under the lights.
Under the lights.
Really?
And yeah, we played under the lights. It was the county championship. Tom this was his second game in the playoffs. First game he threw a shutout, like a one-hitter or no-hitter.
Whoa.
He gave up, I think, one run.
There's a big difference.
And 1 run and 1 hit in the second game, and clearly was the star of the team. But he had to throw the ball to somebody intelligent enough, to call the pitches.
Yeah, really.
And that was me. So he gets the picture on the front page of the Journal News sports section, and I get a little mention that I was in the battery, you know, with Tom. But you know, that was okay. Unless anybody else, do you want to speak? No. Okay, you're raising your hand, and please, if you.
She wants to ask a question.
You have a question?
Which team won?
Oh, we won. We won 3-1, as a matter of fact. We won 3-1. Tom pitched a great game. He had at one point late in the game, bases loaded.
With a one-hitter?
He walked a couple batters.
Couple?
Right? He walked the bases loaded. It was late in the game, and as a catcher, I went out to talk to Tom, and I tried to sum up all my wisdom of all of my, at that point, 10 years of my life. And I said, Tom, throw strikes. Which he
Some
did.
people have to be told that.
It happens. I told him to throw strikes, he did. We got out of the inning, we got out of the game. And we were heroes for a brief period of time. We actually were asked for our autographs by our cousins, but kissing your cousin, it's the same thing. I remember all this stuff. My mom gave us the boxing gloves, I told you about that. But when it came to family, when it came to if there was somebody against us, we always stood together. There's been so many things over the years where, I've leaned on Tom for advice, for help. And it's just kind of hard to describe what it's like to have a brother like Tom. He's been my best friend. He's been my mentor. And I'm not sure what else to say, but I'm telling you, Tom, despite everything else, leave it to Mom. I wouldn't have it any other way.
Was he on the list?
No, he's not on the list.
He's not on the list.
But he was on the top 10 list of you can't stop him from talking.
I'd really like to talk about what's going on with the fairways.
Thank you very much, Tom. That was a nice speech. Good job.
Wait, can I go to the bathroom first?
Yeah, can we?
And all bathroom breaks.
Hey, that was good.
Go get coffee, go to the bathroom. I have rebuttal time. And then I'm opening gifts.
You're not done?
No. Go to the bathroom. And then go get a Budweiser.
No, for you.
Hey.
First of all, I want to thank everybody for coming to my mother's 77th. Greatly in my life is my mom, and it's her birthday. And I have no blessed idea why you're talking about me. And I think Jimmy is deranged. And it's okay. It's okay. He got hit a lot.
By you.
By you. The truth is that Jimmy and I growing up, Jimmy was big for his age, which is why he stretched out all my clothes. So the hand-me-downs went right to him, and I had no freaking clothes. So I had to hit him. Our beds were this far apart, and Jimmy would instigate. Wait a second.
No one believes you.
I'm a soldier guy, right, Bobby?
You believe that?
Truth is, so what if my hand slipped over to his mattress? So what if my fist hit his face? I was asleep at the time. And my poor mother would come up and have to try to figure out why I was on top of him, beating the crap out of him. And I said, I was sleeping, I don't know what happened. He did it. He started. And this went on for about 16 years until Jimmy got bigger than me. And when I tried to beat him, he hurt me more than I got to hurt him. And I said, this is not a good idea. To not be as true.
That though, Tom's three kids are here, none of us have stood up to roast him. That is obviously because
very appreciative.
we like to call up and ask for money. With that in mind, there's not much I can say other than, Dad, we love you, and really can't imagine somebody doing a better job.
Here's a blank check. So much.
Well, now that I have the phone, who's been nothing, best person on the street. shut him down. As long as you keep wearing that Oreo shirt, we don't care what you say.
Hey, Tommy, this mushy shit doesn't matter as long as you got a free beer.
It's what counts.
Killian has a question. Killian has a question. Are you gonna do presents?
Let's do presents.
Yeah.
Let's do presents. Tell them to put on the dancing music.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell them to put on dance.
Yeah, we want to dance.
Happy birthday, dear Tom. Happy birthday to you. And many more. Shut the door.
Ilgasu matu, Ilgasu.
What are you saying?
Ilgasu matu. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Bro.
No, he's too like evil.
Chopin back there. Okay, buddy boy. Hey, first day of 4th grade. Look at me. You excited? What's the name of your teacher?
Huh?
What's the name of your teacher? Okay. You're now infamous. Okay, and he's coming to 4th grade. Look. Yeah.
First, I have to go to 3rd to give Miss Reed and Miss Sonny's these things I got up in Mexico.
Why don't you do that? Okay, real quick. You know what, buddy? No, because they're going to have all their kids that they're trying to talk to, as their new classmates. So you do it a break.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
Hi, Mr. Robachek. Ben, say hi.
Hi.